From the hill country to the rest of the world, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Not sponsored by anybody just yet, but would be happy if Texas Roadhouse was like, yeah. But until then, we'll do that. Unless Coke wants to sponsor us too.
We can take some rolls or some Coke.
That's right.
Not to be confused with cocaine.
This is the That's BS podcast. So this is Austin. Wanted to introduce him for those of you who saw the YouTube video, which he did not.
I didn't know.
Just found out about that
and
today.
I just found that Bryan has a book too, but we're catching up.
We're catching up, yeah. So, yeah, wanted to introduce him. Great guy, one of the founders of, what would you call this? Lumasoul House Studio Media
Place.
And for the sake of this video, it's Studio B at Lumasoul Media Place.
Lab.
So, Steven, actually, Steven and I kind of signed on to this thing because the idea was brought to us. And then, it's just kind of been like the new home for the Bryan Snyder and Snyder Media Company, which you guys have graciously opened the doors for us. But beyond that, like, that kind of opened up like this whole friendship that I at least for me, is kind of there.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Maybe. I mean, we slept together.
Okay.
In a bed we shot a wedding together, and we only had one bed. So not like that, guys, Hey, Bryan, it's okay. Hey, how do these effects work? Boop, 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 boop.
I think we have to turn that up.
No, it's not there.
That didn't. Like that.
You can cut that part out, by the way.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, wait. I think no. It should have done something there. Huh?
God's still good.
Yeah. Oh, there. It's this one right here. Yeah, and then gotta do that. No. Jeez. It should isolate into that, and then allow us to. Oh wait. There it is. Yeah, dude, it should be that one.
It's okay.
Interesting. All right. Well, I mean, that's another thing we're going to fix on this thing. It is a pleasure to be here. Yeah. So what do you do? Like, tell us about Visual Lab Media, where you're at, what you're doing, how this came about, because, I mean, this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, so long story short, I'll try to keep it short. So I started doing photography and videography for my church back in 2020-ish, and I was kind of like the superhero because everybody had to do everything, all their sermons and everything online. Yeah. So I had to do all that. So that was a lot of fun, which I know how that was.
Oh, yeah.
It was a crazy time. Well, I started doing that, and I worked for my church at the time. And then God spoke to me. He's like, I'm going to bless you and your wife, so that way you can do this full time. I'm out of breath.
I mean, so how do you deal with that though? Like, to hear that and then be like, all right, well, let's do this, because you have a wife. Like, this isn't just you doing it on your own. Like, let's give it a shot. Like, you have to think about you and the family you're forming and everything. Like, it's not an easy thing to do, but.
No, absolutely not. So, and I'm not I hear God's voice, Austin, I don't hear that every day, but there's those times where it's like God speaking to you. And it's never the clearest thing. It's like, okay, what does that mean? I'm going to bless you. Well, in a month's time, we paid off $30,000 worth of debt. Yeah. And through different things, we just got all this money to pay off debt. And then my wife got a $20,000 raise on top of that.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, if that's not you, God, I don't know. Like, I heard this from you, and then a matter of a month, all that stuff happened.
Yeah.
So I just went and told my pastor, and I'm like, Pastor, this is what I heard from God, and this is what's happened. How do you feel about it? And he's like, I mean, I feel great about it. So I put in my, 1 month. I was like, at the end of the year, I quit and then started my company, the Visual Lab Media.
So what was the I guess overall thought going on between you and your wife in that time too? Because again, forming your own family at the time, and you're going through these thoughts, but your wife also has some thoughts too about it. Is she like, yeah, absolutely, or let's think about this?
Shout out wifey. She's the best. She was super supportive.
Yeah.
Through it all. She was like, I believe in you. We can do it. And we kind of just ran numbers financially, and she was basically going to be able to cover everything with her job. Mm-hmm. So that means if I made $0 for the month with my business, then we'd be okay.
Yeah.
We might be eating ice for dinner, but but we would be okay, So from there, I just started, and then God just opened up opportunities for me, Yeah. I didn't know how to market or do anything really. I just started,
And I love that though, because I think a lot of times, with the support that we get from people, it helps us just go through the things that we need to get through. For the people who've been following the podcast, know that last year was a hard year. But the support that I've gained from people overall, is a huge reason why, in all transparency, I'm still here. Because it nearly took me out.
Yeah.
Legitimately nearly took me out. So I can imagine what that support is like. So jumping into business and all, you said you didn't know how to market yourself, all these things going on with the business. Where does Visual Lab Media kind of start off as a name? Everybody kind of just, Bryan Snyder Photography or Austin Carpenter Video or Media or something, right? I got less creative and just did Snyder Media Company. So How does Visual Lab Media become a thing?
Well, at first it was Austin James Creations. First name, middle name, Creations. Because I did photo, video, design stuff.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about it. I'm like, everybody does it. Sorry, Bryan. But everybody... But I'm like, everybody does it. You have a cool name, though. It just feels right. Like Austin James Creations, I'm like, this sounds kind of lame.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So I have a friend of mine, and we kind of just brainstormed, and the dream of mine was always having a studio, So I was like, okay, where do people work? So I always look up synonyms for everything. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, a lab. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I can say stuff like, what's up? Welcome to the lab. Go on Peter McKinnon. But using that frame of welcome to the lab, or using that as my space where I create instead of just my name, to really try to communicate with the audience.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, man. I got less creative because with mine, I had been trying to figure out what I was going to do, and at first it was Snyder Photography, and I was like, nah. And then I did Snyder Productions, and I was like, no. But I had consistently been told the same thing, dude, use your name. Your name is different. And I've heard people say, your name is weird. Just use that.
It's weird, but it's so simple. Bryan Snyder.
Yeah.
It's like going down the yearbook. You could see Bryan Snyder. I can just picture you in your seniors.
And you're like, that does not look
with
like
your
a
little
Snyder.
jacket. Yeah, this guy's too dark for a Snyder. I'd never met a Hispanic last name Snyder.
Yeah. Well, hey, there's a first for everything. But yeah, so I ended up sticking with the Bryan Snyder, all because the ties to the Ohio State, and I wanted to somehow put that in there, or something alluding to the Ohio State. I love them. I love sweet tea. and I bring the sweetness into the name. So yeah, it's just
One I think
Bryan
too,
Snyder.
like I don't do a lot of podcast and a lot of like personal branding.
Yeah,
You know, I feel like I'm not good at that. But you do a good
I'm
job with.
not good at it
Yes,
either.
you are. Like you do great content on social media. So like you brand yourself as Bryan Snyder as well. So I think that's when it's okay to have your company be your name. You know?
Yeah. Though, so here's the thing, though. Like, I really don't think I do a good job at it. Like, I could do so much more. I could, I could do so much more, and I could do so much better too. But there's this video that I put out a while back, because I was doing like some daily stuff, and then I stopped because TJ was like every day coming in, and it's me and him, and he's like watching them on the desk next to me, and I'm listening to the whole thing,
You
and
do
he's
yourself
just,
all day long.
oh yeah, and he's like watching it loud, not like subtly, like no, he's watching it loud.
He has to because he's old. He can't hear.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, TJ.
Yeah, and he's like, oh man, yeah, and responding to these videos, and I know he's joking and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, and I just stopped doing it because I'm like, he hasn't watched them anymore.
Because you haven't done them.
No.
That's one way to take care of that problem.
Yeah, but there was this video that I put out about like the successful people out there, the people that are getting things done, isn't necessarily that just because they were absolutely good at it. It's because they just did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people kind of limit themselves on things and don't do things just because I'm not good at it or I don't know what I'm doing in this field or whatever. And it's like, hey, you'll learn. Just get out there and do it.
Yeah. And sometimes the best way to learn. So I'm also a marketing director at a state farm agency. And like the first week during training, my boss gave us this little golden frog that we have on our desk. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like, okay, whatever. Well, he has a saying. It's called eat the frog. And most people don't just grab a frog and eat it, right?
Yeah.
So it just represents the stuff that you don't want to do, right? It's like, okay, customer, they're upset because something happened, but you need to call them. Eat the freaking frog, just eat the frog, swallow it, and then move on, So I always I have that stupid little frog on my desk, and anytime I'm like, dang, I don't want to call people right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, eat the frog.
Yeah.
Just do it. And that kind of gets me through the day. So that's something that I can apply to, the visual lab media, or anybody can apply to their life.
Mm-hmm. So what are those things that, like for the visual lab media, that you're kind of like, I don't want to do?
I mean, obviously, I still do it. It's kind of weird because I'm a marketing director for a company.
Yeah.
So I'm like posting content and stuff for them. But the last time I posted on Instagram was like 2 months ago. 3 months ago.
You?
For me, yeah.
Oh, dang. Okay, I need to go back and check that.
Yeah, so for my eat the frog is just you need to post. But I just don't. And I never get in front of the camera. So for me, that's my big thing that I need to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. But you're getting it done though. Like that's the thing. Like despite being a digital marketer, being the director for that, you're still getting it done. And that's something that I think you should absolutely be proud of with the business. You're getting both things done.
I'm trying.
You're not
I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. At 10 o'clock at night now. It used to be midnight, but
What does that say about me, man? I'm sleeping at 9 and
I just got to get up. And something I really want to do is start waking up at 5 every morning and have 5 non-negotiable things throughout my day.
Yeah.
So one of those is waking up at 5. 2 is getting up and, praying, reading the Bible.
Yeah.
3, work out. I really haven't thought. I'm thinking about this right now, but I haven't said these things. Yeah. But number 4 is just give 100% for whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
If I'm at work, I'm putting 100% in work. If I'm at home, I'm loving on my baby girl and my wife. You know, whatever I'm doing, people say, "Oh, I need to do more. I need to do more." It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You just need to give more while you're doing that thing, and you'll be more successful. And then the fifth thing, probably drink more coffee.
No, you don't.
No, I don't know what that fifth thing. I need to think about it, but those are just some things that I'm gonna try to like implement and see how much changes.
You and I drink way too much coffee. Like that. I know I drink way too much coffee.
Yeah, I had a cappuccino this morning.
Yeah.
Horchata cappuccino.
Mm-hmm.
Fuego.
I've man.
It was good.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I have had way too much coffee, way too much sweet tea, and I know it's a problem. Some people say I'm addicted. I don't care.
You could be addicted to worse things.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. And I'm doing good.
Your doctor probably won't say that, but
listen, if there's going to be something that my doctor would prefer, I would imagine he'd be okay with sweet tea and coffee.
Well, I know the great physician.
Come on.
Come on,
hey,
buddy.
Rhonda Roku. For those of you who don't know what I just did there. No, yeah, man. And this was kind of like an on-the-spot, spontaneous, like, hey, let's do this.
Yeah, this morning I was like, I texted Bryan, I was like, hey, give me a call when you're up and going.
And I literally woke up and just...
He was not up and going. He was laying down and stopping.
Yeah. And then you messed me up because you're like, hi, this is Bryan. And I'm like, this is Austin.
I was like, hey, dude, I'm going to be at the studio later. You want to come by and hang out? And then I had a headshot little session and got that done quick. And then he showed up and we're like, let's film a podcast.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? And we're like setting up stuff. He's like, record. It's like, okay, so what are we going to talk about?
And here we are. And that's the thing. Like, it's this thing that started off from, I think, meeting you at the MLK March, right?
Yeah, that was the first time that we shot together or even met, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was cold.
That too. And there's nothing that brings people together than suffering. Ooh!
I thought you were going to say, like, the cold.
Wait.
That's true. People do kind of congregate more when it's cold.
Oh! Oh, Lord. No. You have no idea what I just did to myself right there.
You probably can't see it, but he's crying just a little bit.
Wow. No, listen.
What is this called? Sclera? What do we decide? The white part of your eye, what is it called?
This sclera? Something like
We'll
that?
have to look on Lightroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it tearing up.
It's because, I mean, dude, that would have been like the casual thing to say, like, oh, you know, the cold brings people together. But the way that I said that, like, just, like, damn. I'm going to go cry.
He's going to clip that. Clip
Probably.
that thing.
But it's true, though. Like, okay.
And that's why it's important to surround your people, or surround yourself with people who you want to be like.
Yeah.
Because they say, I think it's the 5 people you're around most is who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, man, like, definitely, like, what the times we've been hanging out and even just simple calling, and it's kind of just chatting up with a friend and everything. Like, I know we met at the MLK March thing, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're stepping into this new role, and I think that's where the calls really started. Was, hey, would you mind if I called you and did this thing for work? And I'm like, sure, why not?
Yeah, I was like, I just started, so I'm like, can I get you a quote for your insurance? He's like, yeah, why not? Yeah. And then, of course, just started talking about more than just insurance. But if you need a life policy, let me know.
That's the man right there that you want to talk to, because
it's an inside joke.
Yeah, no, it's true. you should definitely do it. But dude, yes. Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, last weekend we shot a wedding together.
Yeah, and that
good
really solidified our friendship. Like,
Yeah.
just go back to the beginning of this episode.
There's a pillow in between.
There was. There
Okay.
was.
Bryan, you might need to clip this, but for you guys out there, if you're ever sleeping with another male, you never sleep pole to pole or hole to hole. I mean, wait, you always sleep hole to hole or pole to pole, no pole to hole. All right.
Oh, this is great. I love it.
Pole to pole. Sorry, hole to hole, pole to pole, no pole to hole. And then put a pillow in between.
Just to make sure. Just to make sure.
And there was like a super long like body pillow.
Yeah.
It was really convenient.
I honestly think that the hotel thought we were a couple.
Oh, we threw that girl for a loop, remember? She's like, I'm sorry, it's like my second day up here.
Yeah. But then there was also, it was like this sweet looking room with this like round couch. Like
I was fully prepared, like a kidney bean.
Yeah, like meant to keep the two people like together, not like just a flat couch where people can sit on both ends. Like it was curved, meant to keep people like
And I was going to sleep
together
on the couch.
And I mean,
You should probably just cut all of this.
No. Mind you, this guy hired me.
I did.
So I wasn't going to make him sleep on the couch. So I did tell him. I was like, "No, we'll sleep on the bed."
Yeah, and we got there super late.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to ask the girl if we could switch it to a double queen. And we got everything up into the room, and then we're like, dang it.
But we made it happen. Hole to hole, pole to pole, but not.
No polo hole.
That's right. So
if you take anything away today, don't take that away from this.
Take the struggle thing, because I'm going to talk about that later on, too. Because that was really good. Like, you have no idea.
Or the 5x5 thing.
What was the 5
Wake up at 5 in the morning.
Oh, that's right.
And 5 non-negotiables through the day.
Yeah. And the 5-second rule. When you wake up, count 5 seconds when you're waking up. Make it happen in just 5 seconds.
I thought you were talking about like if food falls.
That too.
But you know, since inflation's happened, I think it should be like a 7.4 second rule with food on the floor.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
That's a new thing, right?
Yeah. I think.
Are we at 30 minutes?
Almost. I think we're coming up to about 25 minutes. So what?
And the only reason I ask is because we have cannons and they stop recording after 30 minutes.
That sucks. But we'll be right back with episode 2 in just a bit. No, but thank you for tuning into the episode and being a part of everything that I've been doing. And like you said, got the book, which you can get at www.thebryansnyder.com. Get it there. Also follow Austin at what?
The Visual Lab Media.
On everything.
Yeah. Instagram. Not Facebook anymore because it got hacked, but that's great.
Okay, yeah.
Just Instagram right now until I get that fixed.
Yeah, so go check them out. Let them know you heard the podcast. Let them know what your favorite part of the episode was.
Oh, God.
That'll be great. So God bless y'all. We'll catch you on the next one. And remember to tell somebody that you love them.